Rugby really kicking on after the World Cup.
For sure. Thanks, you.
Paddy.
Stay with us. We'll have the weather next with Gav.
Gavin Morris joins us now with the weather, and Gav, it's taken on a bit of a grey hue.
Yes, it certainly has. Lots of light rain and drizzle periods across the region throughout today, and there's more to come tomorrow, and the likelihood now of storms to flare up inland. First of all, Linda Hinton woke up among the clouds in the Wadigans. Low-lying morning cloud is going to be a feature after this system moves on through due to all of the moisture on the ground and in the atmosphere. The humidity has been felt. Well, we've racked up some big numbers. 20% of New South Wales rain gauges have accumulated 50% of the average monthly rainfall so far, and there's more to come. Up around Kempsey, big numbers, 50 to 60 millimetres, and falling nicely throughout the valley. More numbers there, racking up the overall accumulation for the week. Big numbers here. Some locations throughout Eyre Peninsula have already racked up their average rainfall for the month of November. And this really says it all here. This is the footprint of the rain up until 9 o'clock. So it's coming through in waves. So you can see on the coast, inland throughout the northwest, and it goes all the way back to the Red Centre and up to the Kimberley. And going to the satellite, it kind of reveals it. You can see all these little waves, and there's gaps in between, and that's what we had throughout today. It moved in for a while, and then it backed off. And it's going to be the same throughout tomorrow, periods of drizzle and rain. But all of this is the core of the low, and this is storms, extreme storms. There was another tornado in South Australia throughout today. So all of that has got to move across the western parts of the state, and it's going to be at its worst throughout the Riverina, southern parts of New South Wales, into Victoria. But you can see these elongated troughs here. They're like antennas sticking out to the north of the whole system, and that area of instability will move across the mountains and therefore the upper hunter towards the end of the day. And it's still going to be very humid because it's a northerly influence, so it's going to be warm. It's very much a tropical moisture feed here that is drawing down from the north right across the entire region. Fine in the west, wet right throughout the east up to Brisbane, but the heat is back on throughout the centre. On the radar, the drizzle there backing off as we move into this evening. Temperatures were held down into the low 20s across the board throughout today, but it felt warmer at times, especially if you're doing a little bit of work out in that drizzle because of the humidity. It is so high. The pressure down slightly, and the easterly winds kicked in hard this afternoon. Some gusty, strong northerlies, nor'easters. You can see plenty of warmth and humidity there again throughout tomorrow. Drizzle patches, light rain periods, and inland storms are likely, particularly throughout the afternoon. So there's that cluster that is likely to move on through and may push towards the valley floor and the coast towards the evening period. So looking at the temperatures, it is going to be warmer. It's going to be very humid again, a mixture of cloud. We may have some breaks as those waves move through, and then the likelihood of storm development inland with the mercury up there, cracking the mid-20s widespread. We've got a little bit of seas action here. That is because of those northerly winds are gusty, so a strong wind warning has been issued for that yet again. Swell is still lacklustre, just at a metre. The low tide is about 10:30 tomorrow morning, so the high very early dropping and then moving back up again through the lunchtime hours. Sun to rise 5:51 down at 7:23, and looking ahead, that whole system moving through, backing off, beginning to clear Friday. Burst of southerly winds coming through on Saturday, and then easing off to a few showers into the early part of next week. Getting stormy for the valley throughout tomorrow. Similar forecasts for the central coast like Newcastle. Out in the swell, well, a little bit of swell beginning to push on through, a metre, 3 feet, and should be there again throughout tomorrow. We had a mixture of winds, even went westerly for a little period, but then it kicked in throughout the afternoon. So nor'easters throughout tomorrow. Good luck.
Thanks, Gav.
Thank you. In a moment, the death-defying stunt you need to see to believe.
He may be turning 75 in January, but age certainly isn't slowing down Neil Diamond. The music legend playing the first of 2 shows at a packed Brisbane Entertainment Centre last night.
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, meant for somebody else, but not for me.
He'll play another show tomorrow night before moving south to the Hunter Valley and Sydney.
Finally tonight, he might not have a Spider-Man suit, but French climber Alain Robert has put the superhero to shame with his latest heart-stopping stunt. He scaled a 36-floor skyscraper in Paris using just his bare hands and a little talcum powder. And it took less than 30 minutes to complete.
It's a bit risky.
Sure is.
But he loves it.
That is the latest news.
For more local news and sport, go to nbntv.com.au.
From all of us here, have a great night.
Good night.
Good night.